welcome to this week's episode of the Author Collaborative. As always, I'll be talking to an author whose book I have recently read and enjoyed. And my guest for this week is Lavanya Mathur, and I have read her book, and it's been a wonderful experience. She's already here, so I'm going to wait for a few seconds, then we can start the episode. Okay, hi Lavanya, I'm just going to invite you. Okay. Instagram is telling me you are unable to join, so I'm sending you another request. I've sent you a fresh invitation, Lavanya. See if you have received it and are able to accept. Hey, hi Lavanya. Wonderful. Are you able to see me? No glitches.
No glitches. Yes.
Awesome. Yes, I can also see you. So no, no talking to a wall. We are able to see each
Wow.
other properly.
Perfect.
Okay. Firstly, welcome to the show. Very excited to have you here. I was just telling the audience that I enjoyed reading your book, and we are going to come to that. Firstly, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience briefly?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Manali, for asking me first of all to join the session. I'm very excited to meet people, like just connect with people who would benefit from my reading, right? And my name is Lavanya, and I'm from Delhi. I've been shifting for almost 15 years now in India as well as abroad. I was in Canada for a while. And then, I'm a first time author. I've been writing since age 8 when I was in 8th standard.
Oh wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, writing is my passion, and, I've been very observant by nature since the very beginning. Uh, you know, so that's the reason why I've started writing because I feel like it's a way to channel my thoughts and, to be able to put something out there which is actually benefiting the society at large and helping me put something out there which can help people become better. That's just
Yes.
literally what I want to do. And my book's name is Beneath the Surface. So,
Yes. We are just going to focus on the book's cover now. Do you also have the paperback? It would be lovely to show it to the audience.
I do. So
Yes.
this is the book.
Yeah,
It's called
and
Beneath
it's
the
a lovely
Surface.
color. I love the color palette here. I'm
Mhm.
a nature lover, so I love the floral design, and I also love the color purple. It matches the mood of the book and your words, and very pretty, very eye-catching cover, soothing to
Thank
the eyes.
Thank you so much. I mean, it was very thoughtful also because, like my pen name is Iris, so it's kind of
Yes,
symbolic. It's the only flower in the world whose fragrance lies in its roots. So it's kind of symbolic to the fact that our goodness lies inside us, and
yes.
that's the reason whatever I write
Wow.
is to part of human emotion to make you a better human being, and that's the reason why I chose this name Iris, and
Okay.
that's the flower over here. And
Okay.
purple itself is symbolic to wisdom, elegance, and
Oh, lovely.
faith and hope. So that's the reason why I chose purple as a
And yes,
color.
yeah.
Purple can never go wrong, right?
Yeah, true, yes.
Yeah.
And very pleasing colors. As I was saying, it matches the mood of the book. And now that you have told us what kind of thought went behind it, I am
Mm.
even more impressed by the cover.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and since we are talking about the book, we are now going to read out a few passages from the book.
Mm.
So I am going to read out the first poem. There were actually many that I really liked, but there were a few that stood out. So let's focus on the ones that stood out for me. Okay, yes, this is the first poem. As you can see, I've already highlighted it. So this was one
Oh,
of my favorite poems.
oh, nice. Nice. This is one of my favorite as well. I would love that you share that with everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first poem from the book, it is titled The Long Journey, and it starts
Mm-hmm.
by like this. Part of a morning dove I was. She flapped her wings, forsake me in no time. I am useless now, I thought. Coming to an end is all I've got. Flowing with the winds, searching ways to end. Landed on a balcony, saw a man hitting his wife. Pointless, I felt. Couldn't save her life. Nothing, she said. Like it's her fate. Stop, I protested. He didn't listen. Finally, the sun came rushing, finding courage. Thank God, I sighed in relief. Stop, or I'll kill you, he said, trembling, going to slap his child, retaliating. That mother stopped him and stood for herself. She found courage. I flew. Sat on a tree, looking into a window. A happy couple. Some love, some hope, I see. Phone rang. He was frightened. Asked her to shush. Picked and said, I'll pick Sandra from school. We'll be back for our anniversary soon. I love you, she said, like she meant it. He hung up. I love you, said his regret. He cried. I flew. After an hour, resting on a slab, looking towards a lady, all sweaty and pale. Is this a rat kill I see? She put a few drops in the tea. Saw someone coming. An old lady, I see. You are not my daughter in law, but a daughter to me, she said. I am sorry. Is this tea for me? No, it's stale, she replied immediately. They hugged. I flew. Finally reached a hostel, I suppose. A teenager caught my eye. Happy in a strange way, I observed every action he made. Ready and suited up as if going on a date, looking towards a love letter, said my poor judgment. Things changed unexpectedly. He took a rope. I am lonely, said the wall. Just when about to hang, his parents arrived. Happy birthday, they exclaimed. He stopped. I flew. It's a long journey today. I'm just a feather. Can life be so ugly? That's all I could gather. A huge lake, my chances to drown, to finish my existence. Why can't I do it now? What changed my mind? Part of a dream catcher I am now, with some friends and an existence that counts. Often wonder what stopped me. Hope that it will be fine, the wind whispered.
Yeah. Oh
So
my
till
God,
the
I
end, you
love
don't know what
that.
you're talking about. And in the last paragraph, after the reveal, I was like, wow, so beautifully put. And you have written it in a story format. That was one of the best things that I liked about not just this poems, many poems, and also in the later segments also.
Mm-hmm.
I also
It's
found it very resonating because I also like it write in this manner. With my poetry is also like, it doesn't have a flow. It has a story format, and there's no verse form. It's free form, and yours is also like that. It says really liked it. Sorry, you were saying something.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that I love how you narrated it. With every emotion, in the end, you were like, all the ways that you were speaking was very
Thank you.
appealing to me. I really loved how you narrated it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So, based on my reading, Lavanya, I had a few questions for you related to this book, related to your writing journey. So, are you ready to
Okay.
answer those?
Yes.
Okay. So my first question to you is some of your pieces are brief while some go on for pages like the one I just read out. It goes on for almost 3 pages. Entire pages it goes on for. So I wanted to ask you yes, both of the forms, the long form and the short form are equally powerful, but how did you decide the length or the brevity of your pieces, and what's your editing approach when you do the final draft? What is your editing approach while working on these pieces, and how do you preserve the emotional impact of the pieces?
Yeah. So that's a very very good question, because for me and I think for a lot of writers who might be watching this live right now would understand how important it is to stay true to the emotions, and how important it is to pen down your emotions in a way which appeals to the readers, right? They are able to resonate, they're able to feel exactly what you are
I'm
trying to
just
say.
going to pause you here
Yeah.
for a second because we have an audience member, Laksh, who's saying we are not audible. Let's just check from the other members from the other audience. Are we audible? Can you hear both of us? Can you let us know in the comments, please? Because Laksh here is saying that we are
Not
not audible.
audible. Yeah.
So we just want to make sure both of us are, the episode is going fine. We'll
You
continue.
guys are
You guys
audible.
are okay.
Thanks,
Yes.
Sangeet.
Thanks, Sangeeta.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yes,
Thank
Monica
you.
is also confirmed. Okay, let's go on. Please
Yeah.
continue with your answer.
By the way, hi guys. So yeah, like I was telling you, it's really important to resonate, right? So for me, like just imagine for a second, right, that there's a beach,
Hmm,
and there are certain people who are enjoying the beach by just standing on the shore, and
hmm,
the water is literally to the bare minimum of the foot, but they're still enjoying it, right?
yeah.
And there would be some people who would go down in the water body in order to enjoy it, and to actually feel it. So I feel like emotions are also certain emotions are also that way.
Hmm,
Some emotions require more depth in order to
hmm,
strike to a human
yeah.
being. Some emotions don't really require that much of depth, but if even if you use some words, few
Hmm,
words, then you are able to strike the right emotion which is required. So for me, that is very important, and I also read as a reader.
hmm,
Also,
yes.
putting all the thoughts, everything aside, literally as someone who has just got this book or this writing piece, and then I read it again.
Hmm,
How will a person feel while
hmm,
they're actually reading it? That is very
yes.
important for me.
Okay.
And in terms of editing, I think there are two things which are very important. Are first is to keep the language as simple as possible, right?
Correct.
Because I actually write in a way that people, how like I'm just actually talking to myself, or to the
Hmm,
reader.
hmm,
So agar aap apne, if you're just talking to your friend, or if
hmm.
you're talking to yourself, you would not be talking to them in a complicated
Yeah.
language, right? You would be
True.
talking to
Yes.
them in a very simple
Yes.
way. So I ensure that whatever I'm putting out there, it feels like people are able to feel
Hmm.
it, like genuinely feel it. And that's literally my writing or editing process. I know it's not very fancy,
No,
in
but that
any way or
makes
form.
complete sense
Yeah,
because yes, if you write the way you are speaking to a friend, your writing becomes more accessible, and that's the most simplest way you can approach your writing.
exactly,
Yes,
exactly. So
please go
that
on.
is,
Yeah.
yeah, that's how I go about it, to keep it very simple and at the same time ensure that the emotions,
Hmm.
कभी कभी होता है, just writing too much is also not right.
Yeah.
You should know just where to stop
Hmm.
writing, and what sentence will actually hit the right note, and that's when you stop. So
Okay.
this, for example, the poem that you just narrated right now, it said that, hope that it will be fine, the wind whispered.
Hmm. Hmm.
That was the point to finish it, you know. And you could
Right.
tell, and since you're a writer, you'll understand where I'm coming from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely.
So yeah, yeah. So that's the entire process of writing for
Okay.
me.
Lovely. You have answered it so well. And love the analogy about going to the beach and the waves and the emotions thode zyada, thode kam.
Hmm.
Very nicely explained. Thank you for sharing that with us. Which brings me to my second question for you. Uh, I also want to talk about focusing on this book. How did you decide the order or the flow of the pieces for this book? And was the sequencing in your head important to provide a more enriching experience to the reader?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think sequencing is everything, right? I mean, that's how you build up the entire interest, right? So
Yes.
for me, it is important for my reader to build some kind of credibility with me.
Hmm.
Yeah. So for that, what I did, I mean, in this book, you would see that I've started with poems first.
Hmm.
Poems first have the very simple or easy way to connect with people. First is
Hmm.
that. And
Hmm.
even like one of the ideas I had in my mind was, because reading has been like absolutely something which has helped me as a
Hmm.
person. So I really want people to read and like make it a new normal. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that's the reason why I started with poems, so that they build that interest first,
Hmm.
and they start understanding me as an author, because that's the intimacy of books, right?
Yes.
I would read a Jeffrey Archer because maybe I like Jeffrey Archer, so
Yeah.
yeah, so that's the reason why I wanted them to first understand me as an author, my writing style, through
Hmm.
poems, then come to the story part of it, which is pretty comparatively longer, but still
Yes.
a short form, right?
Hmm.
Which builds that connect and repo I'm wanting. And then in the end, you come to the feature writings where you see that I'm putting more of opinions. So
Hmm.
now when I'm putting opinions, they would trust my opinion because they know where it is coming from.
Oh, right. Correct. Yeah,
That
that
was
makes
the
so
entire,
sense. Yeah.
yeah. So
That
that's
makes so much sense. Yeah. Thank you for explaining that. Now that you are telling me this, now I see why the book is sequenced in the way that you thought
yeah.
about it. And now as a reader, it's making me like, okay, yes, I did understand you better in the first segment, and then you go on to express those opinions that you were saying that comes in the later pieces. So yeah, I like the thought behind it. I am also going to keep in mind this this thing as an author from now on. Getting the reader familiarized with your thought process and then building into the writing that you are putting into the book. Lovely. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, that brings me to the end of my questions that I had for you, Lavanya. The floor is now yours. You have also read my book, so please take it ahead.
Yes, yes. I cannot stop like say talking about your book because I've actually since I read your book, I've talked about my book to my other reader friends as well because and that I don't say because we're in a live right now, but I genuinely like felt a connect with you as a
Thank
person. I
you.
got where you were coming from in so many instances. And I was like, हाँ ये मेरे साथ भी हुआ है. This has also happened with me.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
Lovely.
so it was amazing, and at the same
I'm
time, I
just going to
feel
pause you.
yeah,
Let's show the audience the book that we are talking about. This is Embraces in Ink, and it is my
I,
latest book. Lavanya has also read it, and we are talking about that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I really like the fact that you've written a diary entry
Yes.
for not only yourself, for people around you, but also your future self and even the things which are adding value in your life. So it's almost like a journal where you are kind of grateful for every single thing in your life, and then you're talking to it, even to the people who have probably hurt you in the
Yeah.
past, and you are telling them that you made me who I am today, and all of that made me actually kind of in a very subtle way or subconscious way kind of practice gratitude myself. I do that a lot, but still I was able to understand ki nahi yaar, even the specs which I'm wearing right now, I should be grateful to it. Even this phone that I'm using for a live right now, I need to be grateful for it because maybe, and something which I very like really liked was you were putting life to the non-living things as well. Like almost emotions, I was feeling emotions from the non-living things. Like curtain was helping you get some privacy. It was almost like a person to me. So it was amazing. I love
Thank
the concept.
you. Thank you.
And yeah, sorry, I can go on and on about it. But the last thing is that I really like the fact that after every piece you've written from,
Yeah.
right? And from, it felt very thoughtful to me. I would definitely go to the questions, and I've also, thought of a question around it. So I would love to know what was your thought process behind it. Yeah. So I see you've evolved, in your life, and writing and reading has also played a very important part, major part in your journey. So, which book actually changed you and stays with you till date? I would love to know that.
I think for all of us who are bookworms, the first book is always going to be special. I mean, if you have begun with the right book, it's always going to stay. If you have begun with the wrong book, you might never read again. But if you have picked the right book, you are a bookworm for life because you know how precious a good book is.
Yeah.
So for me, that first book was The Black Beauty, and it's always going to stay with me.
Black Beauty.
And yeah,
Okay.
lovely book. It's in the again. I think my love for being grateful to somebody besides humans comes from that book. I feel because in that book we are looking at the story of a horse, and this horse is talking to us, narrating his story. So I think my love stems from that first book itself. And of course, after that book, many others followed. And along the lines, I think somewhere I fell in love with the Harry Potter series, of course,
Of
and that has
course.
also played a major role in making me a bookworm. But हाँ, वो Black Beauty के बाद बहुत सारी books आई, but that stayed with me, and it's going to stay.
I think Harry Potter series is a standard for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. So I see a deep, meaning behind the name after the from section that I just mentioned about in your diary entry. Like whenever you wrote, so for example, you wrote something for the curtain, then at the end you were like from and then something something.
Yes.
Yeah, I see that you have, and in a very subtle way, not only the context of the entire diary entry, but also what you've written in the end has it just stayed with me in a way, and I really wanted to know that what were you thinking before writing that, what was your thought, why, and how did, like if you can even give me an example of any of your writing pieces, and what were you thinking while you wrote that.
So actually, I was putting in a lot of my personal feelings into each letter in the book. So let's just call it a letter writing book, because this is not poetry. This is prose poetry, and in that also it has a subgenre where each poem is a letter that I have written to somebody or something. Okay, so for each letter, I have begun and end with a manner focusing on what that particular person or what that particular thing has given to me in my life. For instance, let's talk about glasses. These glasses, the spectacles. I have begun that letter by saying, "Dear vision giver." So I know because that I can't see. I have a blurry image if I am not putting on my glasses. So इट्स अ विजन गिवर फॉर मी। मेरे मैं अगर चश्मा नहीं पहनूंगी तो मुझे दुनिया बहुत धुंधली दिखेगी। तो ऑब्वियसली द मोस्ट ऑब्वियस एडजेक्टिव फॉर मी एट दैट टाइम वाज विजन गिवर। तुम मुझे अलग नजरिया दे रहे हो, क्लियर नजरिया दे रहे हो, तो यू आर विजन गिवर फॉर मी। एंड the same goes for the endings. I was focusing on how that thing or person would feel about me, कि मैं उन्हें एडमायर कर रही हूँ, मैं उन्हें बोल रही हूँ कि आई फॉरगिव यू, मैं उन्हें बोल रही हूँ कि आई कैन गिव यू अनदर चांस despite you having betrayed me. So I was focusing on my emotions and personal experiences with those people and things. And हाँ थोड़ा ऑफ कोर्स एफर्ट लगा। इट वाज नॉट वेरी लाइक स्पर ऑफ द मोमेंट पे नहीं आया सबका अड्रेसल मुझे एकदम से नहीं आया। अ लॉट ऑफ थॉट वेंट बिहाइंड इट, बट the main idea behind it and the main motive that I had was to make it as personal as possible and not make every letter monotonous, कि जहाँ पे from मैंने लिखा या डियर फ्रेंड से स्टार्ट किया और डियर फ्रेंड से एंड किया, वो
Hmm.
तो फिर सेम ही हो जाएंगे सारे
Yeah.
लेटर्स। हाउ विल आई डिफरेंशिएट वन लेटर फ्रॉम द अदर, बिकॉज we have 50 plus letters. And
Yeah.
let's be honest, if we are putting dear friend in every letter, nobody is going to enjoy it. Neither I as a writer will write love writing it, neither the reader who's going to read it will enjoy it, कि हर letter में एक ही चीज आ रहा है, monotonous होता जा रहा है। And some readers do have a tendency to give up a book if they are finding it
Yes.
monotonous. So yes, to add that variety and for also my own, satisfaction as a writer, I did that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think ending and beginning is very
Yeah,
important. Like, yeah, how it starts and more than that, like how it ends is so
yes,
important. So, I
yes,
mean, yeah, I mean, I'm a trainer by profession, so that's what they tell us even when we
hmm,
facilitate, right? कि मतलब end पे छोड़ोगे, it will stay with the person, and
yes,
that's what they'll retain. 80% of what they will retain is the ending and the beginning. So,
yeah,
and maybe that's the reason why every letter appealed to me so much, is
yeah,
because of the ending and the beginning. So,
yeah.
and
And there is also one trick that I have learned as a writer, that start with something that builds curiosity and end with something that gives them hope, or there is a personal touch to it. You, in my experience as a writer, I have learned, and in my experience as a reader also, because I have always loved books and stories which make me curious. And at the beginning, if they are starting with something that makes me curious to go on, that's a good book for me. And if they are ending somewhere with hope, that also is like अच्छा experience था as a reader. I will recommend this book to someone, or I will recommend this author to someone. So that is something that I have tried to inculcate in my own writing also. Begin the story or the book at in a manner that it builds curiosity, and end in a manner that it gives hope.
yeah. Wow, that's a maybe I'll take a note of it. Yeah. Nice, nice. So what do you actually aim for the, reader to actually gain from reading a book? Is there something in your mind which you think they would gain from it?
I think just being more grateful to the things we take for granted. I mean, most of us are always grateful for family and friends and, having a good house, having good food, having good friends around, having people who support us, who love us, who can be with us when the time comes, in good and bad times. ये सब चीजें तो we are very grateful for. Most of us are. But I also wanted people to focus on the little things we take for granted, like, you know, probably a sunny day, probably a gust of wind on a sunny day, or probably the beauty of nature around us that, soothes us without us realizing it.
Hmm.
Because nature is always omnipresent in our life, but we never realize कि उसकी वजह से हमें कितना सुकून मिल रहा है.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
things like that.
yeah. So very, very beautiful thought.
And before we move on to the rapid fire round, would you like to read out a poem that, probably touched you more than the others?
Yes, I would. There are so many I was telling you as well. Um, but I'll definitely go with yeah.
I'm
I
just
think
going to
Dear
say a
Books is
quick,
Dear
I'm,
Books is very, very nice, but it's so
thank you.
long.
I'm just going
Um,
to quickly say thank you to everyone. They have been sending us hearts and they have been, very nice. A lot of new people have also joined in. So thank you guys for joining.
hmm,
Lavanya and I are talking about our latest books. Her first book, my latest book. and,
yeah.
and she's just checking what poem to read out from my book. Please stay connected.
So yes, I think I'll go with Dear Rain. First of all, it's short, sweet, and simple. And second thing is, I love rain. So, and
Okay.
it's also raining outside today. It's a beautiful
Okay.
weather in Delhi,
Okay.
finally.
Oh, wow.
So yeah. So I'll go with dear rain. Yeah,
Okay.
dear uplifter. You were there when I was born, as if welcoming me into this world with your arms around me. You were there on every birthday post that, as if reminding me of that momentous day and how much it meant to you. You've been there on almost every occasion, good and bad, as if standing by me, cheering or supporting as the need be. You've been a constant more than most humans, as if saying, I've got your back. You are, and I am confident will continue to be a source of inspiration, as if nudging my creativity to unleash not unlike yourself. Thank you, dear rainfall, for giving me my favorite sight, sound, and smell, which is the greenery, the pitter patter of your drops, and the petrichor.
Patrick. Yeah.
Thank you for holding my hand through birth and life. Will you promise to be by my side even when I die? From a girl who looks forward to your arrival every year. I really like this. What you said. To be by my side even when I die. That shows the love that you have towards that.
Rainfall.
The
Yes. Yes.
rainfall. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And that
Short,
is true
sweet.
indeed. On the day that I was born, there was heavy torrential rain. And so much so that, people were considering naming me Megha instead of Manali because there was so much rainfall.
Were you born in Manali by any chance?
No, no, no.
Okay, I wondered that when I heard your name.
No, no, I was not born in Manali. That
Hmm.
was just an inspiration my father had that, this name would be a good one. At that time, it was a very unique. Even now, I have not come across many Manalis in my lifetime, actually.
Hmm.
Just a few,
Hmm.
probably two to three.
You're
So,
the
yeah,
first
it was
I
quite.
know, so I can believe you for sure. Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I was not born in Manali, but yeah, it was born out of an inspiration my father had. And yes, but I was born on a rainy day and very close to getting named Megha.
Thanks. Yeah.
Okay. So now we move. Thank you, first of all, for reading out that poem, and you narrated it so well. Thank you so much. And now we move on to the rapid fire round. Lavanya, how we'll do this is we'll do back and forth. One question I ask, one question you ask. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So let's start. It's okay if you answer slowly. ये rapid fire Karan Johar वाले rapid fire जैसा नहीं है. You can take your time.
ठीक है. Thank you for the disclaimer. Very much needed.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yes. So my first question to you is, what's the funniest thing that you have Googled while writing this book?
Oh, funniest thing. Hmm. So I think my book has a lot of facts and mention of people as well as of places. So I
Hmm.
would not say funny in complete sense, but definitely funny to me for sure. Is that I searched, what are the most controversial topics that books are about and how to avoid them. so, so the reason why I did that was obviously because I don't want my book to be controversial. That's not the point of it. That's not the agenda behind my
Okay.
book at all. So I
Hmm.
wanted to ensure that it is not like that, kind of to avoid the topics. So that's what I searched. Yeah.
You reminded me of that meme from Hera Fairy where Paresh Rawal is like, बिल्कुल risk नहीं लेने
हाँ
का.
मैं बिल्कुल रिस्क नहीं लेने का. It's going out there. I can't take a risk.
Lovely. Okay, your turn.
So my question is, which song will go best with your book?
Which song will go best with your book? So currently we were just talking about the rains, and since the book already has a poem dedicated to rainfall, the off the top of my head, currently I'm thinking of Barsore from the film Guru. So I think that would go nicely. It has a good cheerful vibe, and the book also has that.
Yeah,
So yes,
yeah, absolutely. And also, it's like kind of being grateful for the rains in
yes,
the song. So that kind
yes,
of goes with the theme. Very, very
yeah.
nice song. I like the song also. Yeah.
Okay, my next question to you is, what's the thing or a piece from the book you wish you had written differently now that the book is out there?
So can you repeat the question again?
Anything or any particular thing from the book or any particular piece from the book that now makes you feel like you had done it differently. अब तो publish हो गई, change नहीं हो
Mm.
सकती, but somewhere do you feel that this could have been different?
Hmm. So I have a very, very neutral thought about it
Hmm.
because I'm actually like a believer of. I feel like writing is a very personal journey, and it's
Hmm.
the beauty of an author is how subjective it is to that person, right? So I personally never ever look at a writing or look at anything as a matter of fact and feel ki I shouldn't have written it
Hmm.
because every time I write it from my heart, and I know
Hmm.
for a fact that this is what I wanted to feel at that point, or maybe wanted to convey. So I have never felt like that. That I want, something else to be there because I know for a fact that it made sense to me when I wrote it. Yeah.
Okay, lovely. Chandni Mathur is saying thumbs up to your question, to your answer, or response.
Thank you.
Okay, your turn.
Okay. So my question is, tell us about the chapter that you had edited a lot and why.
Oh, oh, this is going to take a little time to think about because I do go back to most of my pieces and change something or the other till the end, till the time I have published the book. But I think one of the most edited pieces in this collection would be Dear Backstabber, where I'm talking about somebody who has
Betrayed
betrayed me.
me.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I edited that one heavily. In fact, it took me a while to come up with the right kind of thoughts also to put into it. I didn't want to make it very personal also कि उस इंसान ने मेरे साथ क्या किया है वो तो मैं बोल नहीं सकती क्लियर शब्दों में.
Hmm.
How do I put it eloquently and in a
Hmm.
manner that is not very like bitter also.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that
Hmm.
one was a little difficult also to write, and also I had to edit it heavily कि ये part नहीं डालना है मुझे इतना भी. That person also should not feel like कि इतना क्या इसको बुरा लगा कि पूरी दुनिया को बता रही है तो.
Ha, nee, of course, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think just knowing what to put and what not to put is also very important
Okay.
as a writer. You can't just be put, that's the way to put your emotions out there, right?
Yes.
Know what
Yeah.
to put and not what to. Hmm.
Exactly.
Nice.
Okay, that brings me to my next question, which is if you could see one part of Beneath the Surface come to life, what scene would it be? Or what poetry would it be?
It's a very nice question. So I think for those of you who have read my book or maybe would be reading my book, you would understand why I said this when you do. So the piece in this short story called Biryani with Love,
Hmm.
I would want to see Rihanna or Raina, whatever you would call her, hug that man, that's stranger in the end, and feel her dad in that moment.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
I think that would make a
because when
lovely short movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I was even writing it, I had like tears in my eyes because I was actually like feeling it while I was
Yeah.
writing it. Because just feeling it, I have my father, just feel
Hmm.
that emotion, right? So, matlab, when she would hug someone and feel her dad, right?
Hmm.
How will she feel, and with the kind of expressions she will have, it
Hmm.
will it makes you feel very something. I don't know
It
what that feeling
makes
is.
you feel loved, accepted. You have somebody
Yeah.
in your
I would
corner.
love
Yeah.
I would love for her pain to go away
Yeah.
and finally hug someone and feel her dad. That's the
Yes.
reason I would love to see that moment come live
Awesome.
again.
Yeah. 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 I think that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Your turn.
Yes. So how is you've there's this letter, love letter, I would say, to your dad in your book, right? So how is your relationship, with your father? Because I've seen the way you've put it in a very subtle way. I see some things, and I would love to know while you were putting it, what was there in your mind, what kind of emotion were you feeling, and how did you try to put it in the best way possible?
Most dads, I would think, even yours is like that, who is not very, open to having heart to heart conversations. And, they are very reluctant to open their hearts also to us, or let us also be, very open about our feelings with them. So I think I was portraying that. एंड जो भी अभी तक नहीं बोला है लाइफ में सब डाल दो इसके अंदर ही ये कुछ कुछ शब्दों में कुछ अल्फाजों में यहाँ पे ही डाल दो. So I think that was what I was trying to portray. Yes, I do often say to my dad, I love you, and I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. We have a very friendly relationship, open relationship. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि मैं शेयर नहीं कर सकती उनके साथ. It's always there. बट हाँ, वो थोड़ी हिचकिचाहट आई थिंक with every father figure comes ki, when it comes to sharing our feelings, they are a little reluctant to listen to us. They are also reluctant to express their own feelings for us. So I think I was channeling that part of my feelings for him.
Yeah, yeah, because I saw a little something
Yeah.
in that thing, that especially in the end. So I was like, I should be asking this question from you. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Okay, my next question to you: if you had to recommend Embraces in Ink to one type of reader, who would it be and why?
Mm, so I had this thought while I was reading it also, is I would recommend it to people who have actually packed their suitcases to start a new life from scratch abroad, because I feel like I was able to appreciate the feelings and the associations you had to living as well as non-living things more,
Hmm.
because I have been in that place. And I know for a fact that people who are starting their life from scratch while they are abroad, or they have left the country, these non-living things also become living in a
Yeah.
sense. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
add value to your life
Hmm.
in a way that it makes it whole. So I feel that people like that would be able to better understand where you are coming from, and would love to read what you've written.
Yes, that's actually very nicely put. And you have picked a proper, subsection of readers who would really like reading the book. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. My last question to you in this segment: what part of Embraces in Ink made you think, I wish I wrote that?
So I think same, similar answer here as well. That I I think your writing style is we do have some similarities, but
Yeah,
at the
there is.
same
Yeah.
time, we are very different individuals and writers altogether. That's why I never. I mean, it never comes to my mind. I think a couple of people asked me before, as well that something which you would inspired you and you wanted to write nahi likha, something like that, but
Hmm.
I never feel like that, you know. But that being said, I feel your book itself is, a love letter to everything that you have in your life, and it is almost like a journal. You keep a grateful journal, right?
Hmm.
That I'm grateful of this 5 things I'm grateful of in order to feel better in life.
Yes.
So it's literally that for me, and that itself is beautiful to put out in a book, which resonates with not only you but with other people as well. That's
Yes.
beauty of it. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, your last question in this segment.
Yes. So, um, how would you? I mean, okay. So actually, I have two questions. I'll ask one of them. So,
Okay.
if you were giving your book "Embraces with Ink" to someone, then what would you give it along with? Something else which you would give your book with?
Hmm. I think I would make a nice care package with the book. Of course, the book is the hero of that package. Along with that, I would probably put a gratitude journal, which they can, start practicing gratitude in. So, a gratitude journal, nice uh, printed one, not a digital one. तो पेन पेपर से पेन और पेपर वाला फीलिंग अलग आएगा ग्रेटिट्यूड करते वक्त
Mm.
that a scented candle with probably the smell of, if it is available, the smell of petrichor, the smell
Mhm.
of wet mud after the first rain, तो वो smell वाला candle, and maybe a packet of hot chocolate or coffee,
Wow.
depending on their preference.
Okay.
जिसको कॉफी पसंद है उसके लिए कॉफी, जिसको हॉट चॉकलेट पसंद है उसके लिए हॉट चॉकलेट.
Nice. So I asked you this question. Now I'm getting it back. That's a very,
Definitely.
very well
Once the
curated.
paperback is out, definitely, because you already have the digital
Yes.
version. Now you would want a paperback too.
A very well curated box of all the things which will actually go along with your book. And I think having a paper journal one will definitely be the best of the
Yes.
lot, which will go because it's like practicing what you've seen at the same time. So, yeah,
Yeah.
amazing.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of this segment.
Mm.
In this season, I am doing a new segment which is called the Gratitude Bingo, where I
Oh,
ask the guest a bunch of questions related to gratitude and they just have to answer in yes or no. I'm now going to pull it up so we can start. It's a very fun segment where, again, as we were discussing the package, this is also something which can, encourage the guest to start practicing gratitude.
okay. Anything that helps.
Yes. So, my first question in the gratitude bingo is, did a random act of kindness? You just have to answer in yes or no. Did you do a random act of kindness?
Yes.
Lovely.
Like
Okay. Next
today,
question. No,
today.
no. In your lifetime, ever.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Okay.
Okay. Next one. Paid gratitude to an object.
To an object. Yes, yes, yes. I did. Actually,
Okay.
yesterday. Yes.
Okay. Lovely.
Mm.
Next one. Wrote a gratitude letter.
Yes. Thank you letters, right?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Lovely. Next one. Said sorry to someone in the last 24 hours.
No.
कुछ गलत किया ही
Yeah,
नहीं
I
है तो
need
क्यों बोलूं मैं.
to.
हाँ.
Why do? I mean,
Okay.
hmm,
Next one. Said thank you to someone in the last 24 hours.
yes.
Okay. हाँ वैसे अभी भी हो गया है काफी थैंक यू हमारा एक दूसरे के साथ, so that also counts.
That's yeah, yeah.
Okay. Next one. Hugged someone in the last 24 hours.
Yes.
Lovely. Okay. Next one. Said something nice or paid a compliment to someone in the last 24 hours.
Yes, I just did to you.
Yes. Next one. Forgave someone who hurt you.
No.
Hmm.
No. Did not
Yeah.
require. So.
ओके, इतना तो
Thankfully.
बड़ा दिल नहीं है मेरा.
Thankfully. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, next one. Help someone without any motive or expectations.
Yes.
Lovely. Next one. Give someone a shout out in the last 24 hours.
No.
Okay. होता है. It's okay. Next one. Listen to someone with empathy and without judgment.
Yes.
Lovely. Next one. Spend quiet time alone outside.
No. And I'm actually waiting to do that because I'm craving it right now. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Something to look forward to in the weekend. So you have your gratitude list का एक आ गया goal.
Hmm.
Next
And
one.
by the way, shout out to you. So I think that one is done.
Yes, correct. वो भी yes हो गया.
Hmm.
Correct. This one is a little tricky, and most of my guests are not able to answer in yes. But let's see how it goes for you. Did not complain a whole day.
Yes. I do not
Oh,
complain. Yeah, no. Yeah. I've
oh,
started just staying silent in places, and so it's better to, sometimes you just put your negativity by just saying it. You don't need to do it. It's fine.
awesome. Very good practice. मैं खुद नहीं कर पा रही हूँ अभी तक ये, so thumbs up to you.
Patience, patience, it takes patience. It happens eventually.
Okay, next one. Wrote three things you like about yourself. Not necessarily wrote, but
Thought.
हाँ, thought भी चलेगा.
Not three things, but I thought of one thing today.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. That also counts. Wrote three things you like about your parents.
I mean, I literally yesterday said a couple of things to my father, so I think
Okay,
that counts.
awesome. Nice. Wrote three things you like about someone you envy.
No, I don't.
इतना बड़ा दिन नहीं है मेरा.
Why would I?
Okay, next one. Wrote three things you like about a friend or a colleague.
Thought is also
Yes,
counting in it, right?
thought is also count.
Yes. I no,
Okay,
not three things, but there are two people I thought of randomly, and I was thinking well for them that time.
okay. Oh, lovely. Next one. Helped, mentored, or shared knowledge with someone.
Yes.
Lovely. Next one. Watch the sunset in the past month.
Watch the
Watch
sunset
the
in the
sunset.
past
Yes.
month. Okay, we
Yes.
have a month, right, for this.
Yes.
Yes. I love
Okay.
watching sunsets.
Of course you do. वो तो नेचर लवर हो वो तो पता चल ही जाता है राइटिंग में ही.
Sunset हो रहा है and you're just
Yes.
sitting and you're relaxing with a book.
Best. A golden hour for a reason. It's my favorite time of the day.
Yes.
Okay, next one. Observed or appreciated nature and its elements.
Yeah, always.
Okay, next one. Sat in the sunlight in the past week.
Yes.
Awesome. Next one. Made someone laugh or smile in the past 24 hours.
Yes. I think sometimes intentionally, sometimes not, but it happens.
Okay,
Mm.
next one. Turned or looked at a negative situation in a positive manner.
Yes.
Awesome. Next one. Did something this month that you have been wanting to do for a long time.
Mm,
This also
nothing
counts,
like that.
by the way. If you have been wanting to promote your book on an Instagram live and this is the first time you're doing it, it also counts.
Yeah, let's count it in. Wैसे, and nothing apart from this. Yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
next one. And this is the last one.
Hmm.
Took ownership or responsibility for your mistake.
Hmm. I'm trying to think actually. It's a little hard because
मैं कोई गलती करती नहीं
नहीं
हूँ.
नहीं नहीं वो तो करती हूँ. I think everyone does. Um, maybe in normal, chores of life,
हाँ,
while
that
at
also
home,
counts.
कुछ ना
Yes,
कुछ.
yes.
Yeah, so I've definitely taken accountability. I have to, so I do that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, counts definitely.
Hmm.
छोटी सी चीज के लिए भी अपनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेना वो that also counts.
Hmm.
Okay, so you've done very well on this gratitude bingo, Lavanya. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I really like this. Very
And
interesting questions, honestly.
thank you. A lot of thought went behind it. So, yes, I like that the appreciation. Thank you so much. Okay, that brings us to the end of the episode. And I asked this question to particularly those guests who I had a lot of fun with, and I was laughing throughout the episode. And your answers were also very insightful. So I'm going to ask you this. When
Okay.
are you coming up with the next book so I can invite you again?
Yeah, I would. So it's in works right now. That's
Okay.
what I would say. I'm definitely getting, like a really good response for this one, and I mean, I want to. I mean, I love writing, and I really want to do it properly, right? So I would definitely be coming with the second book soon, but soon would be the right word because I don't have a definite timeline right now. But for sure, when it will be there, I'll definitely let you know.
Yes, and I look forward to hosting you again, having you again on the show. And of course, very excited to read your second book also, which I'm sure is going to be just as good or maybe even better.
Better is what I'm hoping. I do have an idea in mind. I've started.
Awesome.
Yes.
Sending you good vibes, keep working on it and keep creating awesome content. Thank you for being on the show and any parting words for the audience.
Yes, yes. I'm so happy to, see people coming in, and I do see there are the good lot of people
Yes.
watching the live right now. So I just want to say, if you are a reader and if you liked reading, which impacts you, which makes you feel certain emotions and puts a lasting impression with you, you definitely should, read my book. It's on Amazon worldwide, and regardless of the
This
country
one,
you're in, you will be.
this book, go check it out. Really good book.
Thank
Lavanya's
you.
debut book.
Debut book, yes. And thank you so much, everyone. And I see a comment from Shant. Ji. So
He's
I would
asking
definitely.
about the second book, I
Yes,
think. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. So definitely, I would put it out there, and I really appreciate all of you interacting. And thank you so much, Manali, for
My
you know.
pleasure. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, also, I look forward to having you again. And all the best with all your writing. Have a great weekend. Bye, everyone. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.